Today's story is The Oak Inside the Acorn by Max Lucado, illustrated by George Angelini. The acorn looked at the world around him. Green hills rolled their backs in the distance. Bright daisies bloomed below him. Above him, a family of puffy white clouds floated through the blue sky.
"The world looks so big,"
the little acorn said to his mother.
"I'm just glad to be right here with you."
His mother was a tall, beautiful oak tree. "I'm glad too, my little acorn. It's good for you to be here with me now, but when your time comes to go into the world, you'll be fine."
"I'll be afraid."
Mother Oak hugged little acorn in her strong branches. "Within you is a great oak, little acorn. Just be the tree God made you to be." The thought of letting go and leaving the safety of his mother's branches was scary to little acorn, so he tried not to think about it, but deep down inside he knew the time was coming. One by one, his brothers and sisters had been letting go and saying goodbye. They had been afraid too, but their mother had assured them the same words. "Within you is a great oak. Just be the tree God made you to be." Each time he heard this, little acorn would look at himself and say,
"An oak? In me?"
He was so small, it was hard for him to believe he could ever be a tree. The time to let go came sooner than little acorn wanted. It started with a bump. He was resting one summer afternoon, thankful for the coolness in the shadow of the leaves, when, thud! The tree shook. His mother's branches trembled, and little acorn began to swing back and forth. A farmer's pickup truck had accidentally backed into the tree trunk. Little acorn had swung before, stirred by the wind, bumped by climbing kids, and each time he'd always held on. But not this time. He tried. He pressed his thin stem into the branch as hard as he could. It didn't work. He was a heavier acorn than he used to be, and his stem began to pull away from the branch.
"Ow, Mom!"
"It's okay, little acorn," Mother Oak assured him. "You can't hang on forever. It's time. You've got to let go." Down he fell, flipping over and over, softly slipping through the leaves until he bounced on something hard. He had landed on the back of the pickup truck. The truck vibrated and began to drive away. "It's okay, little acorn," his mom called out. "Within you is a great oak. Just be the tree God made you to be." Little acorn barely heard the last few words. The truck was already moving down the road, going somewhere. He just didn't know where. As the truck bounced, so did the acorn.
"Ouch! This is rough."
"It gets better," he heard a voice say. Rolling over, little acorn looked up at a young tree.
"Who are you?"
he asked. "I'm a new little orange tree on my way to be planted."
"What do orange trees do?"
asked the acorn. By now the road and the ride were smoother. "We grow oranges."
"Oh,"
answered the acorn. He didn't know what an orange was, and was just about to ask when the truck slowed to a stop. "Wow!" exclaimed Orange Tree, who was tall enough to see out of the truck.
"What is it?"
asked the acorn.
"Trees. Orange trees. Everywhere. It's an orange grove."
"Okay, little orange tree, it's time for you to be planted,"
the farmer said as he lowered the truck. tailgate and climbed into the back of the truck. The acorn rolled away just in time to avoid the farmer's big boot. The farmer took the tree and was gone for a long time. Little Acorn stared at the sky as it began to darken. He missed his mother and her strong branches. This would be his first night away from her. The tailgate banged and the farmer jumped in.
A quick sweep,
He said.
and I'm headed home.
Little Acorn had never seen a broom. He barely saw this one before it sent him high in the air. He landed in soft dirt. I wondered what happened to you. It was Orange Tree. Little Acorn was happy to hear a familiar voice. Is this your new home? It sure is, Orange Tree said. And it looks like it's your home too. Little Acorn had one more question. Orange Tree, what do I do next? Orange Tree's voice was sleepy. Just settle in, little friend, and rest. God will make you grow. And so Little Acorn did just that. He rested. That night, the next day, that week, the next month, there in the soft soil surrounded by orange trees, he sank deeper and deeper into the ground and slumbered. He slept a long, long time. When Little Acorn awoke, he didn't know where he was. He stretched upward, and when he did, he kept stretching higher and higher until he popped out of the dark dirt into the sunlight. Wow! Look who's awake! Announced Orange Tree. Little Acorn looked around and then up. Hello, Orange Tree. Have I been sleeping long? Long enough to become a small tree. Little Acorn looked down at himself and said, I've changed. His round shell was now a slender trunk. You are growing up, Orange Tree said. Now you are a little oak. Little Oak straightened himself and remembered his mother's words. Within you is a great oak. Maybe she was right, he thought, and he stood a bit taller. But even at his tallest, he was much smaller than the big orange trees. Their bushy branches grew greener and greener. Then one day, Orange Tree called out to his friend. Little Oak, look! My first orange! The big orange tree spoke up.
He'll have many more, they said.
So will I, announced Little Oak. The trees in the grove laughed. They didn't mean to hurt Little Oak's feelings, but they did.
You'll never have oranges,
they said, chuckling. Little Oak straightened his branches and pushed as hard as he could, but no oranges popped out. Not that day, nor the next, nor the next. When the farmer came to collect the fruit, Little Oak was worried. He had none to give.
Well, hello, Little Oak, the farmer greeted. How did you get here?
The farmer walked away, and when he returned, he carried a big shovel.
I know just the place for you.
He lifted the new little oak tree out of the ground. Bye-bye, my friend, said Orange Tree. The farmer didn't take Little Oak too far away. He carried him out of the grove to his big white house. The farmer chose a spot in the backyard, overlooking the orange grove.
Let's see how you do here, he said.
Then he dug a deep hole and set Little Oak inside it. He placed dirt around Little Oak and pressed it tightly around the tree's roots. Little Oak liked his new home. For the first time, he stood taller than almost everything around him. Little Oak was stretching his roots into the dirt when he heard, Hi, I'm Pink Petunia. Who are you? Little Oak looked at the bright flower near the house. He started to answer, but Pink Petunia didn't give him time. Rosie's next to the house. Hi there, chirped Rosie. Daisy's here too. That's me, said a white and